If you're planning to move internationally and looking to save some money, I'm going to share some tips with you today. Now, some people might think, why don't I just sell everything and then buy new when I get to wherever it is I'm going? That might sound good on paper, and maybe that would have even made sense 5 or 10 years ago. But the truth is, everything costs so much more today. The cost of replacing a couch or furniture that maybe is of the same quality as the couch and furniture you have today is probably going to be exponentially higher than it was when you first bought it. Items like um, beds and decent desks and any type of furniture you can think of in the house is so much more today than it was in the past. So it makes sense that if you have something that is built well, something that you enjoy, your household items and goods that are have some value to them, why not go ahead and ship them to your new location? Also, that's just one less thing that you have to do when you get there. Now, when you're using an international moving company like SDC International Shipping, you're paying for door to door moving service, which means that everything is packed at the current location, everything is shipped from whatever state that you live in to whatever country that you're going to, it's unpacked there. That's completely another, all those issues are off the table. Like, I have to buy a new mattress when I get there, I got to get it quickly. In the meantime, we're going to sleep on an air mattress. I have to buy all new. I mean, the list could just go on and on. So shipping these items internationally, especially the things that are worth something, the things that are built well, it makes absolutely makes sense, especially when you consider again the cost of replacing them. So, but of course, we do want to save some money before we make the move. So why not go through a process of decluttering? So, for example, if I was moving internationally, maybe you see the books behind me. I think those are one of the first things that I get rid of because books take up a lot of space. They're heavy to move. And even if somebody else is doing the moving and the unpacking for me, I still have to question, am I really going to read these books again? And maybe it just makes more sense that if I want to replace them, I do it with a Kindle. And that way I don't have to worry about them taking up real estate in my new home at my new location. So decluttering is a good idea. You can give things away for the type of person that wants to have a garage sale. You can set up a garage sale and get a little bit of cash for your trip to wherever it is that you're going overseas. So decluttering, I think, would be number one on the list of, if I want to save some money and I'm moving internationally, let's get rid of the things we absolutely positively don't need. I know a lot of us have things in storage that we haven't looked at in years, but the thought of getting rid of them is difficult because we think, well, what if? I know I have gaming systems. I have the original Nintendo going way back. And I know probably some of you are thinking, Jim, you could sell that for a small fortune on eBay. Well, probably can't, but you know what I'm talking about. Oh, this is worth money. That's worth money. But how many of us really take the time to take pictures of these items, to put them online, unless that's what we do for a living? We think about, yeah, this is worth money. This is worth money. But when we actually get up to the point of, do we keep it or do we give it away? Do we let somebody else enjoy it even? Right? You can give these items maybe to other people that will enjoy them. You can give them to Goodwill. And so the whole decluttering thing makes more sense than ever, especially being that you're going to make, if you're making an international move, you're starting a new chapter in your life. If there was ever a time where the logic is there, where the reason is there to declutter, it's now. The next thing is you can choose sea freight for all of the bulky items. So, of course, when you think about things that weigh a lot, right now I have in front of me, you can't see it, but it's a custom desk that we had built. It's made out of wood and metal and iron. I mean, it weighs a ton, and it was designed so that it was designed for commercial purposes. I could have 3 or 4 people standing on this desk, and it won't budge, it won't bow. But moving it, well, that's another thing. I think that I would pack this and have it moved on sea freight because it's going to be cheaper to move this by sea freight because it's so bulky than it is to move it by air. Now, the things that I would want, transport it using air freight. And just realize this, it's not one or the other. When you're making an international move, the things that you want immediately right away, time sensitive items, maybe computer systems and things like that, you can send to the new location via air freight. And the other things that don't matter, quite as much. They're not time sensitive. You want to save some money, you use sea freight. Some people use sea freight for everything. Some people need everything immediately. They need it yesterday. They're moving for business purposes. Somebody else is footing the bill. Then you can just do air freight for everything and it's taken care of. So, in most places, I hate to give windows of time, like saying a week or 2 weeks, but I would say that in general, that would cover air freight. And you might be thinking, well, can I get it there in 2 days? I hate to just arbitrarily give numbers out because it depends on where you're coming from and where you're going to, what the actual distance is. Are you going to Australia or are you going to the UK? Do you understand there's quite a bit of difference between the two? So next is called groupage consolidation. And this is something that SDC has mastered because they've done so much of it. So, for example, all of our items are going, let's say, or most of them, into one of the containers. Those big steel containers, a 20-foot container, there's 40-foot containers. So maybe we can't fill an entire container for moving our goods to the UK or Europe, somewhere in Europe, Spain or Portugal, someplace like that. So, do we have to pay for all that unused room? No. What you can do is we have this consolidated groupage where other families or individuals will have their items stored in the same container as you. Everything is done by SDC. And so we know who's going where. And so everything that's going to the same destination will go into a container, and you're only paying for the amount of space that you need. And that's fantastic because there's no such thing as one size fits all when it comes to international moving. Everybody has different circumstances, different amounts of goods, different agendas, different timetables, all of that. And so with SDC International Shipping, you can get a plan that's tailored for your specific needs, which means you don't have to pay for more than you need. Next, plan ahead. If you're making an international move, I would plan for at least, I know some people say 90 days out, but the actual planning for the move, I would say 6 months to a year. Now, I don't mean that you're calling up SDC International Shipping and you want exactly how much this is going to cost in 12 months. Some things can change, of course, but the actual planning, I mean, you have to have your visa ready. Are you going on a student visa, a work visa? Is a company sponsoring you? You know, all of that. You have to have your insurances in order. A lot of people get what's called international insurance. That's health insurance. It covers them whether they're in one European country or they're traveling to another. You can get more information about that on our website or talk to an insurance person about how that works for your health insurance. There's things like opening up bank accounts so you have access to money when you're there. Of course, whether you're going to rent or buy, all of those things need to be taken care of. So that's what I mean by planning in advance. Now, when it comes to actually shipping your stuff, I would say you want to give SDC at least a 90 days heads up. And that way, everything can be organized. You can understand what will go through customs, what can't. If you have a pet, what records that you need, what vaccinations those pets need. There's some types of animals that aren't allowed into other countries. So you need to get all of that information and understand how that works ahead of time. Next, professional packing services. Professional packing services will take care of most of the issues that people worry about when we talk about moving in general, whether it's 500 miles away or 4,000 miles away or anywhere in between. Because if you don't know how to pack correctly, things will get broken, things will get lost, containers will open in transit. And especially when it comes to ensuring the contents of a box or a crate, you want to make sure that your items get from point A to point B in the same shape that they left. You don't want anything to be damaged or broken in transit. And sure, things happen. That's why we have insurance. There's different types of insurances that you can buy. There's an all or nothing type of insurance that covers if you lose your entire shipment, that's all or nothing. It doesn't cover like the individual things. Maybe something broke in box number 20, but the rest of the boxes are fine. There's an insurance for that. Maybe there's 2 or 3 items that you want to take specialty insurance out on just those items. So you have plenty of options to choose from. Again, you don't have to pay for more than you need, and every individual situation is different. And that's the difference between dealing with a household international mover and just dealing with an international shipper in general. SDC specializes in household moves. So when you think about households, one of the first things that comes to your mind is what? Family, right? Adults, children, sometimes grandparents. So when the plan is being made for you, it's being made not just with objects, but with people in mind. And that's what creates a better experience going with a company like SDC International Shipping as opposed to just going with a general freight carrier. All right. So professional packing services. Also, just so you know, insurance companies, as a rule, will not cover an item that has been broken in transit unless it was professionally packed. So that's another thing you want to keep in mind. So at SDC International Shipping, just know that we understand that every penny counts. And so if you're looking to save a little bit of money, and again, who isn't? Then a cost-effective solution can be put together for your specific use case and for your specific move. If you need more information, of course, our website is available 24/7, www.sdcinternationalshipping.com. There's a wealth of information there. You can chat live with someone at SDC. Usually 24 hours a day, somebody's there, a live person, not an AI, but a live person. You can call the toll-free number at 877-339-0267. That's 877-339-0267. Or you can even get a free quote there. You just fill in the form and somebody will get back to you with that information. All right, this is Jim. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.